Are you ready to look at freight all across the country? I know, I'm late. Well, while you ponder why I'm late, let's have this and we'll look at freight. Stay tuned. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. It is late. I know. It's 9 a.m. Central, 9:10 actually. I had to take our dog to the vet. There's going to be a little YouTube short about it. He's doing okay. So what it is, it's his heart is getting big. His heart is enlarged. So we have to have him on this medication and it's time for his flea medicine. It was a whole 9 yards. So it's pretty expensive to keep a dog alive. But we wouldn't have it any other way. Anyways, did that this morning. That's why we're not here. We do have our coffee. I literally have the last cup that was in the pot, so I hope the wife got enough. If not, we'll have to make more, so which is fine. And of course, we've got the Berserker brew. But then we also have a new brew that I haven't received yet, but we're going to get that. Had a pretty interesting day yesterday. I was doing work off and on. I was trying to book freight, which I booked freight successfully. We had a bunch of storms come through, I believe, Monday night. Was it Monday night or Sunday night? I don't know. I can't remember. And we've got more, I think, coming through tonight. So, you're good. Good deal, Mrs. A. And anyways, so that's what's going on. Talked to an old friend yesterday in the trucking company that he works at. They're trying to make some adjustments, so we had a good chat with them as far as, like, they were wanting to see my viewpoints. I don't know if I helped them or not, but, we did what we could. And let's see what else. What else is going on in my life? Wheel Burner went live, I think, for like 16 hours yesterday. Or 10, I can't remember. It was a long time. He had like 80 people on there. At one point I saw him and Shannon and Jeff and SoCal and I don't know, I can't remember the rest of the 70 people there. And pretty interesting stuff that was said throughout the live feed. I was in and out. That's what happens when you're working and you're listening to a live feed as background noise. I was being a smart aleck too, with both my channels, tuned in and saying stupid, funny things. So that's what I do. I say stupid, funny things. Or Or sometimes I say stupid, non-funny things. It just depends on what mood I'm in. So, anyways, let's get to the comments here, and then we'll take a look at freight because that's what we do now, right? We look at freight and we go, man, that kind of sucks. That's okay. No, there's a lot of that going on, right? So, Greg Zimmer, you are first, and you are first to tell me good morning. So, thank you very much. So, finally, notifications went out. So, let's tune into ourselves here. We're just that narcissistic. Oh, Sterling live? I did not realize Sterling was live. I apologize, Sterling. Oh, I got to turn this down. All right. Let's do this. Go to all messages. There you go. Someone go to Sterling and tell him I apologize. I didn't realize he was live when I went live. I had my notifications turned off while I was at the vet. So, because if I don't, everybody looks at me funny because they think that I have R2D2 in my pocket. And then also my notifications are going off constantly. So, WCF Invader says, you're late. My late? My late? WCF Invader. Cheap Freight Holler, good morning. Jerome says, where is the freight? It's probably at the docks, rotting like the drivers want it to. Shannon says, good morning. She is off again today. She is living the life of luxury now as a 2-truck owner. James G., good morning. Flatbed Trucker, hello. How's it going, Flatbed Trucker? Desert Pam, good morning. CDN says, good morning, Steve. It's not the low board. There is freight. It's just not posted. I believe that. What's good in the hood, people, says Will Burner. Missouri to Missouri air ride, dry van 53 for 5824. Are you empty and didn't even tell me? Or are you just curious? Are you even running? I thought you said maybe your truck was down again. Gary Cook, good morning. Hope all is well. Thank you, Gary. CDN says, my golden retriever also had an enlarged heart. Yeah. There's some things I want to say, but it's going to have to go to the OG channel. So, but I'm sorry your dog had to go through that as well, or is going through that as well. So, yeah. Miss A says, I know you're good, Mrs. A. Josh says, what I miss? My name is Nobody. Good morning. Justin, what's up? Good morning, everyone. 2 months since I pulled a broker load. I think it's time to get back to it. Shannon says, I already bought the Viking brew for real truckers. Get you some today. So you'll have to let me know if that blend is bold or as bold as you need it. Shannon's like, your coffee is weak in flavor. She wanted a punch in your face. And Shannon, it's easy to get coffee to be stronger. You just have to put 6 cups instead of 3 cups or 3 scoops. Do 6 scoops instead of 3 scoops. I know that makes you have to buy more coffee, and that would be okay, but that's how you get the coffee to be stronger. Now it's look this blend is a blonde roast, which back when I was drinking the liberal cootie juice of Starbucks, the blonde roast, the Pike Place or whatever it's called, is what I liked. And so I thought, man, I want a blonde roast because it's got more caffeine, but it's not kicking you in the butt like it sneaks up on you. Next thing you know, you got to pee a bunch and you're like ready to fight, which why I called it Berserker Brew. So got to make sales, man. Multiple streams of income. I don't even think I've generated anything yet. So I'm on my way to the Walmart in Harrisonville, Missouri. Okay. Are you coming north or south? That's not a bad place. I've been there a few times. Obviously, I used to deliver there all the time. That Sapp Brothers I like that Sapp Brothers right there. They got that great big family bathroom. and you can do your business in peace. It's nice. And the food's good in that restaurant. So I used to meet up with Pigtail there all the time. Pop Tart Gone Trucking. Hey y'all, good morning. Trucking with T-Bone. Good morning. Pop Tart saying hi to Shannon. Everybody saying hi to each other. How are them grandbabies? Growing fast. Good morning, Jackknife. I got your message to Sterling. Thank you. He hasn't seen it yet though. Yeah, he might be 10, 20 minutes behind on the comments there. Will Burner says, "Good morning, Snorelord." Again, thank you. So, anyways, that's it. That's him for life. That's it for lifey. No, just kidding. Let's see. Let's get the 1, 2, 3. Oh, I've already got the 1, 2, 3 load board up here. All right. I don't have any words of wisdom today, so we'll just go straight to load boards. Not that I have words of wisdom anyways, but every now and then a nugget will pop out. All right. Let's see here. Let's do Kansas City. Because Don wanted to see Missouri to Missouri. Missouri to Missouri. Actually, we'll do it easier this way. Here's what we'll do. We'll go to load availability. Then we go to the density map, set it to dry van. Unless you got a 20-year-old piece of crap that's got a bunch of holes, then you got a wet dry van. All right, let's go to Missouri. Just click on it. What was the ratio showing? 403 outbound, 260 inbound. So that's cool. Now, let me take this off here. So let me go to DAT real quick. Because the load ratio map was very interesting when I went over it the other day. Let's see if it's still interesting. Let's see if Georgia is still a hotter market than Ohio for van. For reefer, I have no idea. For flatbed, who knows? All right. So what is it saying in Missouri? Share screen again. It is saying 539 in and 521 out. So their volumes are showing less or lower. Well, their volumes are showing different than what 1, 2, 3 is showing. So let's click on Missouri here. Let's see. You need clothes and etc. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. We have so much stuff. Half of it's never been used. Oh, for the grandkids. Okay. Pop-Tart, please email me. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Justin Axford, should I open another business and put my paid-off truck in it and lease it to myself? Want to get your point of view, please. I don't know. I'll be straight up. That's a question for your fleet owner there. I know that was talked about in wheel burners about leasing yourself the vehicle for tax purposes, but I have a rule, and you might think this rule is crazy, but here's my rule: never, ever, ever rely on tax advice on YouTube. Ever. Never, ever. That would be a question for your fleet owner who is experienced, and also for your accountant. Trust me on this. Now, the only exception, and it wasn't really on YouTube, was that the podcast Holland Assets, they had an episode of how to structure, S Corp, C Corp, and all that stuff, and it was perfect. It was right on the money. But never, ever, just my rule, you can have different rules if you want, Take tax advice off of YouTube. Especially trucking YouTubers that may not tell you the truth on everything. Because if you're a smart trucking YouTuber, you don't put your entire life on the tubes. And so you don't know what someone's situation is. Like I can sit here and tell you, oh man, you can make great money being an owner-operator, but yet not tell you that my wife works and has a great job that allows me to be able to do that. Okay? So take everything you hear on my channel, on everybody else's channels with a grain of salt. Check with your accountant. Check with the people that are going to directly be affected by your business. So there you go, Justin. That's my point of view. Wilbur says, good morning, Pop-Tart. My van drains more water than a reefer on defrost. Jeez. What's up, everyone? Mark Ely, what's up? Chief Ray, there was a load I did where it was a load of racks. And they loaded them up. And they told me, hey, we're going to be washing these. It was like someone opened up a car wash inside my trailer. And water was just gushing out. I thought, man, I'm never going to be able to pick up a load. Because I don't have vents on my trailer. Or I didn't. I don't still own the trailer. But, man, I got lucky. I picked up a load of pallets next. And, but, yeah, there was water literally gushing out of the trailer. I was like, what did I get myself into? Okay, if you want to, okay, so we're talking about baby stuff. All right, David Riverman, good morning from Memphis, Tennessee. Still trying to make that money out here. Good deal. That's all you can do. Georgia, where I'm at, got to go through Atlanta here in a little bit. Export, import, HTC. What's up, HTC? Chief Freight Hauler missed Jackknife. Good thing you didn't hit him. Me personally, it complicates your business even more than it already is. What's coming out of Denver Monday going anywhere? 53-foot van. We can do that. We can look at that. Sage and Mark are saying ever. I would say just get an S Corp and pay yourself as an employee if you want to save on taxes. Again, not saying Jackknife's wrong or right. I'm saying take what he just typed. Take this comment and go, duly noted, and then go talk to your accountant. Never, ever. Pop-Tart says facts. That is why accounting exists. Go get advice from them, not YouTube, right? Justin, look it up. In premise, it saves your self-employment tax, and the money you save, you can reinvest back in your company for the write-offs. I have not a tax consultant. In fact, I owe the IRS money, so take anything I say with. Don't even listen to Jackknife. If he owes IRS, just don't even listen to him because he did something. Do you have a tax accountant that you would recommend? Do I? No. Because the people that I've used in the past, people don't like. So, and what I will suggest, Gary, is somebody locally that knows trucking. So that's the challenge, is someone that knows trucking. So, Michael, what's up? Justin Axford is a shitster. Shannon's laughing. I put a short up a week ago or so ago showing the water running out of the van. I have that's on video for me too. I have, it's one of my GoPro vlogs. I'm just investing in my knowledge. Cheap freight hauler. That's what I thought, DIY, but I wasn't sure if you were here. I'm in business strictly for the write-offs. All right. DIY, do you overpay for equipment for the write-offs? Oh, man. You guys funny. You guys are funny. So so I know Don wanted Missouri. What's coming out of Denver Monday? Anywhere 53 dry man. Okay, so let's do the intrastate on Missouri here first. Here's Springfield to Springfield. Pepsi's got a bunch of Springfield to Springfields. Wow, look at that. Let's take a look at one of these, because I might need one of these. It's not until next week. Truckload. No, web chat to book your load at pepsilogistics.com. Now, I've actually used that web chat. And it might be AI, but, Pepsi Logistics, this is not a knock on them, but they tend to be a little bit difficult to get a hold of. So the fact that they would have some web chat to be able to figure out what's going on with this load is pretty cool. So I like that. Look, there's got to be a combination of technology and human interaction. And you got to have a great combination of both, in my opinion. Where I like the web chats over the email. I used to prefer phone calls over emails, but when some of these brokerages are outsourcing, you can barely understand the person on the phone. It makes it very hard to negotiate. The load I booked yesterday was awesome. The broker was awesome. This was a veteran dude that just, he wasn't trying to be a salesman. He wasn't trying to get me down, 40% below market rate, which everybody else was. He had a mission to move a load, and he mission accomplished. And he appreciated the driver and I on our communication skills. And the driver I'm dispatching now, he is awesome about check calls, about pictures of the cargo, of the seal, of the lock, and they're getting extremely paranoid. And coming up this week, I'm going to be doing an interview with CDN freight broker, and he's going to talk about some of the things he's learned about cargo theft and the nature of where freight is going. So it'll be a really good video. So, Don, I would look into the Springfield to Springfield to see what this is all about, because if this is the caves to downtown, it might be a project that might be doable. It might be a project that they're looking at here. I do know that they used to put up loads. It was empty cans, but sometimes you got to drop your trailer, so I don't know if that's what this is. Kansas City to Blue Springs. Let's sort this by highest rate. Let's see what the highest paying thing in intrastate Missouri is. $7.91 to go to Kansas City, Cape Girardeau, Kansas City to Fulton. There's your load. Worldwide's got it for $600 for the 9th. They got several of these. So check this out. So this Kansas City to Fulton, what this is bottled water. Let me take a look at one of these. Yep, 45,000 over on the weight. Now, this is Niagara water. I used to do these all the time. Don does them all the time. And the crappy part is they're usually late night to early morning next morning. Especially the ones that come into Springfield, if they're going to Sam's Club. Yeah, bottled beverages. So now, these are good loads. I like them. Now, they tend to be really heavy, like almost day cab heavy. But yeah, but see, notice there's a bunch of them. Now, this is a 3PL thing, because here's how I know this. Or here's why I'm guessing that. Maybe that's a better term, because I don't know. I don't know 100%, so I don't want to be one of those guys. Because what will happen is I'll see one broker have them for a month or two, and you develop that relationship, and you're busting butt getting these done, and then they'll lose them. And next thing you know, you see another broker with them. And then sometimes you see 5 brokers with them. 4 or 5 different brokers that have these Kansas City Fultons. What it is, it's bottled water going to Dollar General. Niagara Water does the store brand waters. So whether you buy Dollar General brand water or Walmart brand water or Sam's Club brand water, it's all the same. It's all the same stuff. Sometimes it's a gallon jug. Sometimes it's the 24 packs. But so what a person can do is they can call up Worldwide and say, hey, man, what's going on with these? You got one a day? And if the $600 a day is good enough for you, boom, book one for each day. Because it's really not that far. It's 154 miles. So, it comes out to less than $2 a mile, but you're looking at $600 a day because you got to look at your daily rate on the gross, right? So, and obviously Worldwide has made some kind of deal on doing a bunch of these. So we got Republican Neosho. That's a shorty, $300 for 58 miles. St. Peter's to Arnold, Missouri. That's inner city there, St. Louis area. Marshall, Missouri to St. Joe. It's a little bit more of a stretch, 148 miles. West Plains to Branson. This is, let's take a look at this one. This is going to be charcoal. This is a plant-to-plant transfer between one charcoal plant to another. Now, my cost being $358 a day. They got it cut in half, 179, because obviously this is 135 miles. But if you can do 2 of these at like $500 or $600 a piece, now you're going to burn a lot of fuel in this one. Branson's got some serious hills. I mean, not like Wyoming level, but enough that your truck will go, what are you doing? But that plant's easy to get to, but there is some traffic you got to go through. St. Louis to Joplin, that's a good one. I've made literally $1,000 on this load before. And what this is probably is Coca-Cola or Pepsi. Oh, no, it says granules. So but I've literally made $1,000 on this load. Cargo Chief's got it 808. Rate Check's got it 732. Green Screen's got it 850. So, and that's not a bad run. I mean, 44 is not bad. It is heavy. There is some mountains if you get around the 180 to 150 mile markers. It'll soak up some of your fuel there. But not a bad run. More Springfield to Springfield. I got a bunch for the 13th. Wow. I almost said today, but that wouldn't have been accurate. So, Kirksville to Columbia, Joplin, O'Fallon. That's right back to St. Louis. So, maybe if you want to stay inside the state of Missouri, maybe you can look at this Joplin to St. Louis and back. So what you can do is you come down here to market rates. This is a cool tool. Let's do St. Louis. Oh, yeah, they like you to spell it on this one. Come on. Louis. St. Louis Mo to Joplin, Missouri. Then we got set for van. We get rate. Right now there's 64 loads from St. Louis going to anywhere. But see, there's not a whole lot. There's 1 going back to Joplin, and then there's 6 going back to St. Louis. But this is a great way to see if you can go out and back, kind of a deal. And then you can see the historical. Like in 2020, these loads were paying $400. I remember those days. And then it never quite hit 1,000, but I've hit this at 1,000 before. I think it was a last minute deal that someone fell off of. So let's go back to van here on the load availability. And then we'll look at Denver for, what was it, Wednesday? Or Monday. We'll take a look. Let's do that now while I'm thinking of it, so I don't have to look at that up again because you guys are commenting and I'm missing the comments here. So let's do this. Denver Co. To anywhere for Monday the 13th. Ooh. All right. Search. Aurora to Colorado Springs. That's a common one. Oklahoma City, 93 cents a mile. Oh, man. That's funny. Denver to Wyoming, Michigan, $1.57 a mile. Let's take a look at this one. It's actually not bad for coming out of Denver going to a different state. The 93 cents for the Oklahoma City, though, that's just wrong. That is just wrong. $17.95 on Cargo Chief. They're $18.41, so they're above the average there, except for Rate Check's got it $19.22. Hazmat, though, there you go. So that's why it's a little bit better than everything else. Man, it's almost like being specialized really helps you. $1.26 to go to Phoenix. $1.10 to go to St. Peter's, which is St. Louis area, I believe. They've got a couple of those. You've got this Fort Collins to Manhattan, Kansas. Now, this is a stinker, and I'll tell you why. Unless you live in Kansas. Number one, it's a stinker because it's 91 cents a mile. The other reason is that you're not much better off in Manhattan, Kansas. There's not a whole lot of freight coming out of there. How do I know? We scroll down and we look at backhauls. There's 44 out of Manhattan going anywhere, but only 20 out of Kansas. I'm not sure how that dynamic works, but it's a dead area, which means that you're not going to get a good rate out of there. Now, does it beat deadheading into Kansas City? Possibly. So what you do is you look at how far is it from Manhattan, Kansas to Kansas City, which is your closest. How far is it from Manhattan, Kansas to Kansas City, Missouri? 121 miles. How far is it from Manhattan, Kansas to Joplin, Missouri? 253 miles. So those are your two best markets that are closest. Well, let's see what Oklahoma City's not much. So, how far is it from Manhattan, Kansas to Tulsa, Oklahoma? 252. So, Manhattan, Kansas is not going to put you in a much better place. So, you're going to lose a day on this load. So, that's why that load's a stinker. Now, if you can get up to $1.50, then that will help compensate the deadhead you're going to do up to Kansas City or Joplin. So, let's see, $1.12, $1.26 to go to Phoenix. And we already looked at that. So not much coming out on the 1, 2, 3 low board there. So, Mark. So there you go. So let's go back to load availability and let's bring Van back up and we'll look at some comments here. DIY says, I pay myself interest and then pretend I never received it to avoid taxes. Here's another gem. Make sure you buy a new truck, says Jackknife, or buy tons of chrome before the end of the year. That'll get everyone riled up. Good morning, all, says Gen Z. Getting loaded with a drop trailer, dropping where I live. 3 to 5 day forced vacation. Why is it forced? Don't get DIY started on tax write-offs. Don't remember which live it was with Cash is King, but it was hilarious them talking about writing everything off. It's a must-see video. What is? Sorry, I'm back. I got to go. I'm leaving my shop. Everybody be careful, says Pop-Tart. Shannon, I'll email you. Sterling says, I'm here now. Start over. Sterling, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on you. Dude, I didn't realize you were live. And I know you were like, well, Steve isn't going live today, so I apologize. So, oh, you're talking about the CDM video. Yes. What about Arnold shutting the doors? That, yeah, I mean, that's just, look, it's a struggle right now. Like I said, I did, over the weekend, I watched a small carrier survival summit. And, you know, when it comes to a slightly bigger company like Arnold, you know, you don't know what the circumstances were. I know that they had a lot of contract freight. I know that they used to. I don't know if they still did, but they used to have all the glass that came out of Muskogee. Because whenever my old company would go get glass, we had to go through them. They were kind of the facilitators of that facility. And I do know that I used to see them a lot at the beverage places and all that. So, you know, it's just a tough market, man. So, you know, we don't know what their money management was. We don't know what their contracts were. We don't know how much they invest in equipment. You know, for some companies, it's the equipment that's going to take you out. You know, overpaying for equipment and it failing and breaking down. Warranty or no warranty. You know, that's what's taking a lot of people out right now. And it's possible that Arnold was like, you know what? We're not able to save the sinking ship. So, Romeland Services, good morning. Almost skipped over you. I apologize. CDN, so many carriers and brokers have closed in 23, 24. We are complacent. We hear a carrier is bankrupt. We say, huh? And move on. Where did those drivers go? Who took over their accounts? And those are great questions. Wife Lord finally watched my channel. I'm good. She does watch your channel, Sterling. Especially when you're putting up the apnea stuff. So she just may not comment all the time. Hell, one time she gave me the number and said, "Did you see Sterling's newest video?" So. I heard Arthur Express filed for bankruptcy as well. You mean Arthur? Is that how you say it? That's interesting. Wasn't that a big YouTuber promoter thing? That Arthur Express? I want confirmation of that. Jackknife. So get your Googles and say, hey, is Arthur Express filing for bankruptcy, and see if something comes up. All right. So this is Van. So let's take a look at what we already looked at Missouri. Let's see what's going outbound Missouri as far as like everywhere else. St. Louis to San Francisco, $1.56. So they're coming up a little bit on those. Let me see. Let's do highest rate here. They're coming up on the West Coast stuff. That's interesting. Almost $2 a mile to go to Seattle. Let's take a look at this one. Not that I want to go to Seattle. Let's see. 25,000 pounds too, so not too bad on the weight. Cargo Chief's got it at 39. Direct Connect, they got an email address on there. 47% above cost per day. So 1861 on the miles. Let's see, about 740 in fuel. I don't know about that. Might be a little bit. Actually, no, yeah, 1100 on fuel. And of course, my carrier's cut is 740. So you're looking at profiting about $1 a mile after fuel and carrier percentage. My carrier percentage. Mine. But look at the market though. There's more loads coming out of Manhattan, Kansas than there are Seattle, Washington on the 160 board. Let that soak in for a minute. Seattle's a major metropolitan area. Manhattan, Kansas is a tiny town. So that's why they're paying a little bit more to go there than they have been. Because they got computers that go, yeah, that's going to struggle. Hey, hold on a second. I might have to take this. We back. All right, so let's see. Mexico, Missouri to Melfa, Virginia. That's not too bad. That's $3.25 a mile. Let's see what this is about. Let's see. I don't know where Melfa, Virginia. Oh, that's right on the. Man, you can throw a rock and hit the water. That's where that is. 190% above cost per day. 22 is the normal, so there's got to be something to this. Paper products. So buyer beware on this. When you see an extraordinary rate like that, you got to make sure it's a legit load. Now, Hogan Logistics, I've never used them. They are a legit broker. I mean, you see their trucks all the time, but just make sure this is legit. I imagine this has probably got like 58 stops or something ridiculous to have that kind of rate. So just be aware when something's like way above the market average and it's a one and done, just be very aware that it could be a fraudulent load. Let's see, Kansas City, San Francisco. So they're paying a little bit higher to go California. Johnston, Rhode Island, $240 a mile. Cape Girardeau to Medley, Florida, $246. Springfield to Miami, $202 a mile. This is a little low for Miami, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion. You're empty, boss? Well, we'll look for something. So, yeah, Springfield to Miami picks up Friday, delivers Monday. So, about 1,290 miles. They're a little low. I'd want a little bit more to go into Miami like that because you're looking at quite a bit of a deadhead to come out for a decent rate. Now, or you can take a short, small rate, kind of like you would do out of Denver to get north into Georgia and then hit that market. Joplin, Haines City. I would almost do this one. It's a little bit less on the overall rate, but Haines City I don't think is as deep. Oh, it's got 2 stops too. So that kind of adds some miles to it. Because to get to Florida, you're not going to go through St. Louis. So yeah, that's going to add some miles to it. Max temperature 999 degrees. Got to love that. Some default setting. But see, Haines City is a little bit easier to get out of than Miami. So I would almost want to take this load for the same amount of money as the other. Or I'll take a little bit less because I'm going to net a little bit more on that. And it's also, what's the weight on this one? 30,000. What was the weight on the other one? I don't remember. Oh, no, the other one was 5,800 pounds. So then you got North Dakota, 236 a mile. It's going to struggle to get out. So Springfield's waking up a little bit. Kansas City market, Neosho. Neosho, this is going to be Jarden products or Sunbeam. Now, we're getting close to grill season, so there's going to be a lot of freight that comes out of Neosho. The Neosho is, there's 2 things that come out of there. If you're Reefer, there's 3. So There's the small appliances and grills that come out of Sunbeam there in Neo Show, and then there's a dog or pet food place that ships out of there. There's also some grass seed that comes out of there, so that there's that. Those are easy. Those are usually easier spotted. Yeah, 19,000 pounds. This is going to be the small appliances and grills, and then there is a couple of caves there, but you don't go into them. They just store everything in there, and the dock bumps up against them. And then you also have, if there's an egg farm out there, if you're Reefer. So I've delivered pallets there before. A couple of places in Neo Show that ship the pallets and eggs and stuff. So you drive in, they spray dirty water on your truck. It's awesome. All right, St. Charles to Philly. Speaking of Philly, Jackknife, if you're still in here, did Oser ever get a hold of you? He was trying to get your number because he was delivering in Philly. Look at all that. There's a bunch of these St. Louis or St. Charles to Phillies. So you can call PLS and say, hey, how many you've got? And they'll be like, how many trucks you got? How many can you put on this? They got a bunch of these. So obviously, I know what this is. I know what these are. This is shopping carts. So PLS has got the shopping carts out of St. Charles. So these are going to be multi-stop loads. Yep, carts right there. I was right. Now, whether they're multiple stop or not, that remains to be seen. But these are, I love shopping cart loads. Love, love, love them. Man, they got a bunch of these going to Hampton, Virginia. So that might be like all the Walmart stores in Hampton, Virginia, or you know, getting a bunch of carts. Could be all the Dollar Generals. You never know, but they obviously have a bunch. Neo Show to York, PA, not quite $2 a mile. That needs to be a little bit higher because you're looking at about, I'd say $200 in tolls. Let's take a look. $2 p.m. to 8 a.m. Let's see what day on this. It's not till next week. Oh yeah, tolls. We were looking at the tolls here. $238 in tolls. So that's why that needs to be up a little bit. Because that not quite $2 a mile goes way down when you throw in those tolls. So that needs to be a lot higher. Pigtail, good morning. Elware, hi. What's up, everyone? Miss Charles, sup, Snorelord in chat. I'm broke, ain't got it. Can you do 150 miles of Atlanta to 150? Yeah, we can do that. So we're going to find loads. Let's create search. Let's go to Atlanta. Helps if I can spell. That's what happens when I don't use my glasses here. Hang up on that one. Let's see. What day? Oh, Reefer? What day? Is there a particular day you're looking for? We'll do today, tomorrow. We'll do up until Monday. How's that? Apply, and then we'll do Reefer. Apply. Search. Don't matter? Okay. So this will give you all the short haul. So let's sort this by highest rate. Oh, $20 a mile, $1,600 to go from Atlanta, Georgia to Oxford, Alabama. Manchester, Tennessee. Obviously it's going to get the surrounding states, Tennessee and Alabama. So on the average, it depending on the load, you're looking at 800. Let's look at this one at 1,600. I'm sure there's something different with this one. like it's multi-stop or whatever. Oh yeah, there it is. I was right. Looks like you got 1, 2, 3, 4 stops. So depending on how quickly these stops come off, that might be a good run. -10, so you're going to burn some refill fuel. 28,000 pounds, so not too bad on the weight. It looks like it's kind of all over the place on the stops there. Looks like you're backtracking a little bit. So it just depends on the receivers on these. If you can get them all off in one day, 80 miles, you're styling and profiling, man. See, 900 to go from Manchester, Tennessee to Dacula, Georgia, sorry. So what's the strategy for dry van? Stay down in the south or southeast? North-south, my friend. We'll get to that here in a second. May 13th, 14th, so that's Monday to Tuesday. $800. Rate check's got at $880. Cargo sheet's got at $660, so they're up a little bit. 32 degrees. That's whenever I see 32, it's either temp control for a product, like I know that sounds dumb, but like a dry product or like packaging or whatever, or it could be produce. So I know that melon season is going forth, but I know a gal that dealt with a lot of these brokers that do the watermelons out of Missouri, and yeah, buyer beware on that one. So quite a few loads. Quite a few loads. All around the 100, 200. The highest mile is 239 to go from Knoxville to Statham, Georgia. But there's something different about that. It's got an A. I'm not sure what the A means. Let's take a look here. It's got 2 stops, so you're going to get a little bit more money than normal. Oh, air ride van, air ride reefer. So telecom equipment. Oh, driver unload and load. So I don't know if it's tailgating or actually got to like get in the trailer and lift things. So there you go. All right, Jerome, back to your question. Here's what I'm finding, okay? And we'll actually go to DAT as well, DAT. So when you look at the southeast states, you got South Carolina 527 in, 1435 out. You have, let's go to Georgia. Georgia 1372 in, 3327 out. Florida 1246 in, 2666 out. Alabama 615 in, 900 out. This is all for van. Arkansas 285 in, 649 out. Now, if we go to Illinois, 1414 in, 688 out. Indiana 881 in, 639 out. Kansas 286 in, 176 out. Kentucky's not too bad. Kentucky's 429 in, 517 out. Minnesota is a dead market. Michigan is not doing so hot. Missouri is not as well as it could be or should be. But look at Mississippi, 237, 591 out. Let's take a look at Texas here. 2930 in, 3246 out. So when we, what I like about 1, 2, 3 is we can hover. So Alabama looks good here. Georgia looks good. Florida, it's got a little bit. South Carolina, not too bad. North Carolina, better. So now, if you wanted to bounce from, let's say, Georgia to Wisconsin and go back and forth, north and south, that might be okay. But just know that Wisconsin, it's going to be a little bit lower coming out than it normally is because the freight market has slowed down a little bit. So what you might want to do is like maybe North Carolina to Arkansas or Missouri and back. or maybe South Carolina, Georgia and Alabama, or just go back and forth between North Carolina, Alabama, and back, depending on how much short haul you want to do. And then Texas, I would look to see which cities were the hottest in Texas. It's Laredo. You can probably do Laredo to Georgia and back, or maybe you can do Laredo to Missouri to Georgia, or maybe Laredo, Georgia to Missouri, Arkansas. I would just Louisiana, Mississippi are hit and miss on the 1, 2, 3. Now DAT Mississippi's not doing too bad, but you also got Tennessee. Let's take a look at Tennessee. What they're saying here: 796 in, 1338 out. So Tennessee has been pretty good. So Memphis, you got Memphis and Arkansas. You got Memphis. You can do the Tennessee or Arkansas market, and you can just basically bounce back and forth in this little triangle. And just know that if you end up in Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, you're going to get a little bit less coming out of there. So, because the computers are looking at that and saying, oh, all the trucks are down here. So just that's what I would do. And we do have several drivers that are doing nothing but North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida. That's all they're doing. Maybe flirting with Kentucky a couple of times. Maybe flirting with Virginia a little bit. That's it. This would be the area I'd be working right here. Right here. This little circle right here. Not too far south in Florida. Not too far north in Tennessee or Missouri. And Arkansas, you just want... Arkansas, in the reefer world, you've got... You got poultry that comes out. Obviously you got all the Tyson plants. But in the van world, Little Rock's got a lot of paper. Fayetteville area, that's a mix of stuff. And then you have West Memphis. There's some shippers out there. So, and then you've got a lot of, you got some dog food and stuff out of there. So, there's a whole thing, right? So that's my opinion, just my opinion. But I do know that if I'm trying to go from Illinois to Georgia and back, that I'm taking a hit coming out of Illinois more than I normally do, because Illinois market kind of sucks right now. Which I was thinking about this the other day. Farming season. Well, no, let me, and DIY could laugh at me later if he wants, but in the Midwest here, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, especially Ohio, when they're not able to plant yet because of the rain, it tends to slow down the Ohio market. I've had 2 or 3 brokers tell me that, because I was like, why does Ohio suck? And they told me that was what was going on. They and these 3 people didn't know each other. They just told me wow, okay. Because a lot of the local farm hands, that have trucks, they'll run that freight, or a lot of the local carriers there that have the direct freight with the farms, they're out in the spot doing that stuff. So they suck up all the short haul stuff because they don't want to go down to Florida. So next thing you know, and then manufacturing's down in the Midwest, and a lot of freight is coming up through the ports on the southeast because of what's happening with the Baltimore Bridge. That port is all jacked up. So there's a combination of things going on there. So, Cherry says, good morning. Flooding here in Tennessee. Yeah, you guys had some tornadoes the other day. Sage is listening. Thank you. Woohoo. 8 stops in Nashville metro area today. Going to be a great day. That'll test your patience. Charity says, be safe, cheap freight hauler. We got some bad storms coming this evening. Yeah, we're getting the same thing too, I believe. That's not what I wanted to hear, Charity. We have potential for tornadoes again tonight. Yeah, this spring is definitely in full swing here in the Midwest. So, but anyways, let's take a look at Reefer hot market map here. All over the place. It is hard not to chase the money. Now, Idaho's waking up, Utah's waking up, Washington's waking up. So I would definitely check produce and what's shipping. There is a tool for that here. You can go to Reefer rates, and it'll give you the fruit and vegetable truck rate report. It'll tell you what's shipping. So this is a great tool if you know what you're looking at. I don't know what I'm looking at. So, but it'll tells you what's crossing from Mexico through South Texas: asparagus, broccoli, carrots. No, I'm not reading all that, but these are all the fruits and vegetables that are coming out of Mexico. And then it tells you what's coming out of Yakima Valley, Washington: apples, asparagus, pears, and rhubarb. And then specialty crops: onions and dry and potatoes. Onions, dry, and potatoes. So a lot of good tools here. So, but when I don't stare at all these tools here, but when I see a little bit of difference, like Washington, Idaho, and Utah, and New Mexico waking up, I want to find out why. So let's click on New Mexico here. Now, New Mexico's been green a few times. DIY says true. Cool. Actually got something right. Have they begun rebuilding the bridge in Baltimore yet? Probably not. They still got to get the financing going. They still got to clean up. It's not easy to clean up that mess. So I imagine you're looking at like a 5-year process on that. So at least, if I had to guess. And if they get it up in a year, I don't know if I'd want to drive on that. So, but here's the positive. There's going to be a lot of flatbed freight that goes up there hauling that stuff, heavy haul. Because they'll need materials for that to rebuild that bridge. So New Mexico, Roswell, a lot of stuff coming out of Roswell. What is that, DIY? Is that dairy coming out of Roswell? $1.86 go from Mesilla Park, New Mexico to Morris, Illinois. But then let's look at Illinois. There's 208 outbound. So Illinois is a little bit more even in the reefer world. Let's see what DAT is showing. So let's switch this to reefer. So let's see what Illinois says. 619 in, 247 out. So same thing's going on in reefer world in the Midwest. 73 coming out. 73 reefer loads coming out of Indiana on the DAT board. Now, to CDN's point earlier, there might be reefer freight that's not. I mean, there's definitely reefer freight that's not on any low board. The trick is finding where that is. But look at South Carolina, 151 in, 237 out. Tennessee, 222 in, 309 out. Let's see. Texas, 815 in, 1128 out. Wisconsin, 219 in, 87 out. Now, Washington hasn't quite woken up here. 306 in, 49 out. Florida, 369 in, 1194 out. Georgia, 387 in, 1156 out. So let's look at North Carolina. 405 in, 430 out. So North Carolina, not so much. But South Carolina, did we look at them already? Yeah, 151 in, 237 out. So your Georgia is probably going to be your best spot. Alabama, 137 in, 255 out. Arkansas, 78 in, 253 out. And Arizona, 173 in, 551 out. So in California, 430 in and 1617 out. So yeah, it's reflecting that here too. California's up, Arizona's up, Texas is up. So there you go. I will eat. If I eat 2 or 3 Whataburger meals with chocolate milkshakes today, I should have enough weight in this truck to keep it upright in case of tornado strike. That is very true, but you will feel like crap. CDN says that flatbed freight for bridge won't be on spot market. You need to know the broker who has the construction contractor account and builder relationship. There you go. Bingo. Roswell is the sheep capital of the U.S., so that's where a lot of lamb chops come out of. Night Ranger, thanks for coming in. Sterling, 53 Reefer, Santa Maria, California. Well, let's do that. Thank you for your membership. Santa Maria. Santa Maria. All right. That was dumb. Sorry. Going anywhere. And we're already in Reefer. So hit search. Ooh, look at all that. There's a lot. Now, let's do highest rate. Already had it on highest rate. 7,800 to go from Guadalupe to Assinet, Mass. 232, 230. So California reefer rates, I don't know. Let's take a look at the history on this load. Ooh, it's got several stops. So that's why it's above the cargo chief and the regular rate. But Green String's got it as high as 88. Looks like it's 34. So obviously it's probably produce. Let's see what the historical is on this. So if we do Guadalupe to, well, the historical is not going to matter because of the multiple stops. So. But yeah, all of this is going northeast. So your best money coming out of California is going northeast. There's one going to Phillipsburg, Ohio, out of Woodlake. But everything else, one Louisville, Washington Courthouse, that's going to be Walmart. Or there is a dog food plant and pet food plant in Washington Courthouse. Florida, Ohio, PA. One going to Illinois. But again, we saw that Illinois is a dead market. So, a bunch going to Chicago. A few going to Texas. So, there you go. There you go, Sterling. Going to call Pedigree to ask if they'll sell me a reefer for $20K or ski rides because I need write-offs. Oh, you guys are funny. All right, let's check out flatbed and step deck. Ooh, that is ugly. Wow. Yeah, this is where your flatbeds need to be. No ifs, ands, or buts. This is where you need to be. Southeast. Illinois is trying to do something here, but not much. 550 inbound, 328 outbound, 60 intrastate. California's got 250 outbound and 198 inbound. So Illinois has got more loads outbound than California. But Florida's got 381 outbound, but 1,239 inbound. But, of course, PA and Ohio are doing okay. But, yeah, this is your area. Now, Jackknife, Mr. Flatbedder, might do PA to Georgia and back. See what that looks like. I guess I shouldn't take that $4 mile flatbed load to Wyoming. Yeah, but, I mean, there ain't nothing. There's 14 outbound. Let's take a look at the outbounds coming out of Wyoming. Laramie to Ada, Oklahoma, $1.52 a mile. Now, you make $3 a mile, go to Denver. See, I would do this one because I guarantee that Denver is going to be easier to get out of than Wyoming. And it's short miles. And then Midland, Texas, $1.74. So Colorado is your best paying thing coming out. Well, let's sort this by rate. I had it on age there. $1.83 to go to Florida, Georgia, Midland, Texas, Minnesota. It's all over the place where everything is coming out of Wyoming. But the highest rate per mile, if you're one of those people that looks at the rate per mile, is much, if not more than the rate per day, then you're looking at that Saratoga to Denver, Casper to Dumont, Colorado. And then it goes from $2.73 a mile to $1.83 a mile. Whole dollar less to go down to Florida. So let's see. Tolga, oi, what's up, man? Can you do a load availability for power only? Absolutely. There's not a whole lot on here. What we do is we go here, and then we'll take off flatbed and step deck and come down to, where is it? I know it's on here somewhere. There it is, power only. Here we go. It looks like a checkerboard. It's all over the place. Let's take a look at Arkansas. See what the outbound is. A lot of these are going to be loadout trailers. Here's North Little Rock, Panama City, full price here. Let's see what this is. Doesn't give me any details. 48,000 pounds. So it might be some heavy haul trailer, or it's a preloaded flatbed. Paragold. There's some flatbed freight that comes out of there. Paragold to Houston. Oh, looks like it's a little project. See, they got all the dates here. Power only loadout. Okay, so LO means loadout. So here's what this is. This is utility trailer. Brand new trailers coming out of Paragold, Arkansas. So and they're posting those for $500. And these are the days that these trailers are coming out. So that's what that is. 24-hour pickup, 7-day loadouts, $49,000 in interchange, swing door, dry van, brand new. So I was right. I used to, whenever my company would get new trailers, we would go to Paragold to get them. And that was easy running. We just basically did it round trip. But yeah, if these are loadout trailers going to different points in Houston, they might be a bunch of extra lease trailers going to Houston. You never know. But let's go back to the map here. My coffee's gone cold. Let's take a look at Iowa here. Let's do highest rate. Obviously, Waterloo, Iowa, going to Laredo. So what you would want to do, let's take a look at one of these. Loadout trailer, one-way trailers. Now, one-way trailers, they're pretty much significantly one of the main brokers that covers this stuff on 123 Low Board. They do have a website. Yeah, there's their website. And then I would look at what is coming out of Laredo. Like, could you get Laredo back to Iowa? Let's say you live in Iowa. So, but if there's some loadout trail, so here's what we do. We look at Texas. Not seeing a whole bunch of stuff coming out of Laredo. But obviously there's stuff coming out of Fort Cavazos. So you'd look at your deadhead from Laredo to here and see what's going on. Text, email the broker with your MC number and target rate. No double brokers. I will put an FG on your MC number. So, and they said it with exclamation points. So, guess what? They probably been burned. OTBX Express, I've never heard of them. But they are pre-approved by Thunder, so that's good. So, but it looks like Texas has got, well, not a whole lot of loadout trailers, or power only. I don't know if they're loadouts or not. But there you go. There's your map for power only. Now, the other thing about power only is a lot of brokers will have drop trailers. Like, for a while they were leasing trailers. Convoy got into that world. Uber's gotten into that world where they have the trailers and you're just running their trailers. So, I mean, there's several different kinds of power only. Power only could be just running JB Hunt freight or Schneider freight. But then you got loadout trailers where you can pick them up. You pick up the empty trailer and it's yours for a week or two, or maybe a couple of days or 3 days, and so that's why you see some Raycon saying it can't have an Amazon trailer on a Walmart facility, because if Amazon's ordered a bunch of trailers, they need to move. They don't want you picking up Walmart freight and delivering it at Walmart and vice versa. So, Gary says, I was in Grand Forks, North Dakota yesterday. I saw a bunch of those turbines moving. Yep. Cheap freight hauler. A brand new loadout sounds like an insurance claim waiting to happen. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a higher risk to that. And so the people I know that have done that, what they'll do is they'll go in there and they'll say, hey, man, this is a brand new trailer. It's not mine. Please be as careful as you possibly be to the forklift operator. And that's why you need $49,000 interchange. And what you do is you take about 1,000 pictures and take a video when you pick up the trailer. But definitely new trailers, you can definitely spot any issues right off the bat. We've done a couple of those over here. I had a driver that was trying to get back to Phoenix because he was going to get an extra lease trailer out of Phoenix. So he turned it into Michigan there. And so we got him a JB Hunt. It was a JB Hunt trailer, but it was a loadout trailer that TQL posted. And then we took a regular broker load coming back, and I told him what to do. So, and it worked out okay. It's there's a risk with everything, right? Cheap freight hauler. So just knowing your customers, know the shippers, know the receivers if you can. But yeah, brand new loadout trailers is definitely probably a little bit more stressful. It would be for me at least. So anyways, that's it for today, guys. Sorry I was late today. No, I'm not. I had to do something important, so I'm not sorry. But anyways, we'll try to be on time Friday, and then I have an interview coming up with CDN. Hopefully, we're scheduled. What we're going to do, I think, is we're going to record the interview, and then we'll do a live playing of that. So that's kind of the direction we're going to go. Because that way, if we get interrupted, it won't affect the live feed. And then CDN will probably be in for that live replay, and he can answer any questions, and then we can pause the video, the whole 9 yards, right? So with that being said, strength for today, hope for tomorrow. Get busy. Get on it. Aggression turns the screw. Whatever cliche crap. Oh, and buy my coffee. Content creator coffee.com. Type in Snorelord. You'll see both kinds, both blends that I have available. 48065 on the 123 low board if you wish to check it out for free for 30 days. And, oops. If I know how to do this, I'm an amateur at best. And there you go. So, and then if you want to support the channel, super chat, super thanks is greatly appreciated. And then there's all my Cash App stuff down there. Guys, gals, it's okay. We'll get through this. It'll be all right. Just got to be smart. Look outside the box. Figure a few things out. So with that being said, strength for today, hope for tomorrow. Peace.